I'm Morgan.
And I'm Megan,
Twins and host of M&M Chat,
a monthly podcast that brings together our many commonalities, including motherhood, farm life, fitness, and chasing our passions, and, of course, Girl Chat.
It is our goal to create a show that is positive, real, and fun. Now let's dive into this month's episode. Hey Megan! Oh my goodness, so we are back for another episode of M&M Chat, and this is exciting. I feel like the first launch of our podcast went well, and it seemed like you guys enjoyed it, so thank you for all of your great feedback.
Yes, we enjoyed reading the comments and just getting messages and people sharing it, so that was just so fun to see, and we are excited for this next episode, and we hope you like it just as much as the other ones. Our episode today, the topic is springing into fitness. If you have followed Morgan and I for a while now on Facebook, Instagram, you know that we love fitness. We love nutrition, we love working out, we love just in general overall being healthy. And so that is the topic for today because we wanted to dive right in and into why we choose this kind of lifestyle and how we go about it and just how we maintain it. So so it is officially spring. Now the weather hasn't been showing us that it's quite spring yet. We've had some cold days here still, but the sun was shining this morning, and so it's definitely on the horizon. And with springing into fitness, Megan, how do you kind of get motivated and how do you use this season? A lot of times we do like spring cleaning and things in our houses as well. So how do you use this time to kind of re-energize? Yeah, so if you guys just are anything like me, the warmth of the springtime and just the sunshine, it just really helps with motivation and helps with just getting you excited and ready to make a change, especially after winter. Usually in the wintertime, we kind of get into a slump where we get kind of into those old habits. We kind of forget what it's like to be outside because we've been cooped up inside the whole time, and so we sit a lot more in the wintertime and we're not as active, and so the spring is definitely a time to rejuvenate yourself and set new goals and just get excited about being healthy again. So that's kind of why it's a good time for us to kind of clean up our health just like we would clean up our house, so clean up our yard. It's just a good time for that.
I agree. I feel like when you start to feel the air change, like I feel like when you step outside and the first time you don't have to wear a winter coat, like you hop in your car, you want to crank up your music, and it's just kind of energy giving. Like I feel like you just kind of feel this energy to just try to go and move your body or to get outside and play and go on walks and things like that. So this is a perfect time to really refocus and kind of prepare for the summer and to use this time. It's kind of also this transition from like January. We have a lot of like New Year's resolutions.
Oh yeah.
And so this is kind of a time to like, okay, let's refocus and look at our goals that we had set for ourselves, not even just fitness related, but like let's look at our goals that we had set in the new year and kind of how can we refocus and bring that back as we start to enter into another season.
Yeah, definitely. So I would like to just kind of share what we're drinking today. So Morgan, what are you drinking?
So I am drinking, this is called Lemon Energize, and I drink this daily. There's 3 different flavors. There's lemon, mixed berry, and fruit punch. Lemon's probably my favorite. It's kind of my go-to, but the other ones are pretty tasty, and I like mixing them in. But this is what gets me up and going in the morning.
It's kind of, there's lots of names for this. You can call it Mama Juice. You can call that one Liquid Gold. So one of these, 1 scoop, is one serving of caffeine, as much as a cup of coffee. And so it's not a ton of caffeine in here, and so you will feel energized and alert and ready for your workout or ready for the day, but you're not going to crash because it is all natural, clean ingredients. Also, we have a new flavor coming out that I'm super excited about. It is strawberry lemonade, and it's coming out this summer, so we're looking forward to that one. I'm drinking mixed berry today.
Yes, and what I love about this is it doesn't make me feel jittery. Like, it just gets me, like, excited to, I usually mix this up in the morning when I'm making our lunches for the day. and I'll mix up my Energize and I'll start brewing the coffee, and then I actually sip on my Energize when I'm walking out. It helps motivate me throughout my walkout.
That's what I do too.
Yeah, so it's definitely a good motivator at 5 in the morning.
If you have not tried it, I highly recommend.
Yeah. Shameless plug there.
Yeah. So if you don't remember from the first 3 episodes, or maybe this is your first time tuning in, I am a Beachbody coach. And so I run an accountability group, a boot camp, and Morgan is in the group, and so we're actually doing this together. And so it's fun for both of us and just keeps us continuing our healthy habits and our fitness routine. So Morgan, what are you currently doing to clean up our fitness and nutrition? And Morgan and I are doing, like I said, similar things, so I'll let her kind of explain where we're at right now.
Yes, so Megan and I, so a little background. So we were baptized Catholic, but we grew up Lutheran. But my family, on my dad's side, is Catholic, and so to help kind of feel like we like to kind of share the love, and so
and keeping the ties
and the routine or the tradition. So we would celebrate Lent with my dad's side of the family. My grandma always gave up potato chips for Lent. My dad would try to eat fish on Fridays. And so we just wanted to kind of partake in that. So as long as I can remember, probably from like 5th grade and up, we've been giving up something for Lent. And like one year we gave up pop. It was like a game changer. Like now I drink pop more as like just a fun night out, maybe with root beer and rum chata or something, you know?
Like as a mixer.
Yeah, so it's definitely helped me to, like, for 40 days, they say it takes about a month to create a new habit. And Lent is not only really important to me to focus on my relationship with God, because you're trying to challenge yourself to remind yourself that you shouldn't be idolizing something in the physical world, but that we should be relying on God for our needs. And
before Easter, Jesus went into the woods, and he fasted for 40 days. So that's why we fast for 40 days with giving one thing up or 2 things up. And so it's just in remembrance of that he sacrificed for all of us, so we can sacrifice a sweet or something that is a habit of ours, like maybe having too much caffeine, or some people might give up biting their nails or different things like that. Mm-hmm. It's a sacrifice.
Yep. So this year, after the holidays, and we went to Florida over Christmas, and after the holidays I just felt like I was starting to crave more sugar, and so I had mentioned it to Megan. We usually like to try to do something together because it helps keep each other accountable, and
the accountability is huge.
So I mentioned giving up sugar to Megan, and she said she would jump on the bandwagon with me. So that is currently what we're doing, and then we have started adding in, we thought while we're doing that, let's try to maybe reset our nutrition as well. So Megan, can you explain more about what we have added to that well, as with giving up the sugar, we've also started to do something else for a short time period.
Yeah, so there is a new program right now in our member library for Beachbody, and it's called 4-Week Gut Protocol. And it's really a reset of your gut. So your body thrives based on your microbiome and just your gut health, and it's kind of a weird term, but you are what you eat. And your body will handle things in a different way based on what your nutrition is like. And so it is good to do a cleanup of your nutrition every once in a while. And it's not a diet. We're not starving. We're not only eating salads. Like, it is not a diet. There's plenty of food. And it's 4 weeks long. And the focus is really eating whole foods. So like whole vegetables and fruit. Having protein. You can still have carbs in this gut protocol, but they are the cleaner carbs and not the high processed carbs. There is still healthy fats like avocados and hummus. And so that's really what this nutrition program is just trying to have a balance of macronutrients so that you are really absorbing all of those dense nutrients that the food offers and getting a variety of plants. And a variety of vitamins and minerals and all of those nutrients that we need So that's the biggest thing. Morgan, how many plants are we supposed to have?
Yeah. Autumn Calabrese, which is a fitness and nutrition expert, she recommends having 30 different plants a week. Now, when I heard that, I was like, that is a huge, like if I'm going to the grocery store, your cart is going to be full of different fruits and vegetables to have 30. Like I'm not going to be able to eat that many plants before they go bad. But then we started looking at your recipes, and it actually is surprisingly shocking of how many different plants you get in your diet without having to go buy 30 different celery, cucumbers, tomatoes.
Yeah.
Like when you start thinking about, like if you make a recipe and you have a casserole dish, and how many different veggies you could put in it. You could put onions, you could put spinach, you could put mushrooms, and you could put
even
peppers.
Even a variety of peppers counts. So if you have a red pepper, that counts as one plant. If you have a green pepper, so sometimes in my meals, I'll do both, a red and a green pepper. And herbs count too, because those are plants. So if you put basil, parsley, oregano, all of those are plants. Garlic. Even like
if you have rice.
Even oats come from plants. And so there's a lot of different ways that you actually already have plants in your diet that you probably didn't realize, and it doesn't have to be 30 different items from the produce section at the store.
And I also have been finding that it's helping me to try new things. Like this last week, because the goal is to increase the diversity in your microorganisms in your stomach and your digestive tract, because it's just similar. So I'm going to do an agriculture connection here. It's similar to when we plant a variety of different plants in our soil. They are going to attract different types of nutrients in the soil, and they're going to attract different microorganisms and different insects and things in the soil. And so farmers, like, they do crop rotation. And so I like to think of our stomach and things similar in the fact that if we increase the diversity of our stomach, then we are going to increase the good, healthy bacteria, and they're going to be satisfied because they're going to have a variety of plants and stuff to help nourish our good micro organisms in our body, which helps in return so you have less bloat, less gas, and you feel more light on your feet. And so like this last week, I tried Brussels sprouts, and I'm not usually a huge Brussels sprout person, but I saw this little package at Hy-Vee that had Brussels sprouts and a little container of bacon, and I just put it in a saute pan with the bacon sprinkled over with a little bit of olive oil.
That sounds good.
It was really tasty.
If you haven't gotten it as an appetizer either from a restaurant, if they have Brussels sprouts as an appetizer, obviously that's going to have a little bit more grease and fat in it because it's super tasty, but it still has the Brussels sprouts in there, and so I definitely encourage you to try it because I've tried it with friends a few times and it's pretty good. Maybe a little Parmesan cheese on it. But I actually bought kiwi today, which kiwi is a pretty common fruit, but I actually don't buy it that often. One of our smoothie recipes in our meal plan, every week I post a meal plan into the accountability group, it has kiwi as one of the ingredients. And also it has, I think it had kale, but I have spinach, so I'm just going to use that. But that is a fruit that I don't buy all the time. So I thought, while I'm doing this full week challenge, I'm going to buy kiwi, so I switch it up, add diversity into what fruit I usually eat, besides just apples and grapes and the fruit that I commonly eat all the time.
Has there been any other plants that you thought you hadn't, or that you didn't really like before, and then you've tried them and you've been like, hey, this is pretty good?
So yesterday I was on the run, so I went to Panda Express, and they have super greens as a side, and so I actually got that to add more vegetables into what I ordered for my bowl that I got, and it had kale in there. So kale is one that I used to never think I liked very much because it has a strong taste. But it has a nice crunch too, so it's a good one to mix in with a bunch of other greens, so like lettuce or spinach, and that's one that I haven't had a lot in the past until starting Beachbody. Also, avocados are one that is pretty new for me. My friend actually got me on that. She made a homemade guacamole with avocados, and ever since then I love avocados. I'm trying to think if there's any others that I
used to never like mushrooms, I was like,
Yeah.
if someone ordered like a pizza with mushrooms, I was like picking those mushrooms off. And lately, like last night, I've been trying to add mushrooms in a little bit more because have really good benefits for you. But I'm meal prepping and I'm making a healthier pizza for my lunches this week. So I added spinach on top, and I also added mushrooms.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been kind of getting over the texture.
Yep, it's a texture thing.
Yep.
Me too.
And we made chicken marsala one time with our friend Lydia. She had us go to a cooking class, and that was
fun.
Yeah, and that was a really tasty way to use the mushrooms too. So just trying new things, but not like going crazy with it, but just kind of slowly adding
sneaking them
things.
in.
Yeah.
I know Morgan likes to add frozen cauliflower to her shakes.
Yeah.
In the morning for breakfast. And at first I thought that was kind of weird, and I was like, frozen cauliflower? But actually it just makes it creamy, and it's kind of like adding ice, so it makes it a thicker texture.
Yeah.
And then you get a serving of vegetables in there too.
Yes, good. So with our fitness and nutrition routine, Megan, can we walk through like a typical day and how, especially with kids and with full-time jobs, and it can be kind of hard to get into a routine. So let's talk about what a typical day looks like.
Yeah, so in our member library, which Morgan and I are both a part of, we have a ton of different programs in there. We have everything from boxing and dancing and cardio, lifting, running, ballet. There's a program that uses a workout step. And so there's just a huge variety, some yoga, some Pilates. And so Morgan and I like to pick a program to do and have it, like we print off the calendar, because every single one of our programs has a calendar. We print off the calendar and we post it on our refrigerator or post it wherever you will see it. I always encourage my girls to actually print it off so then they can cross off the days. And what's nice is all of these programs are backed up by studies and research, and they're designed to be effective, and they're designed by fitness experts. And so we like to switch it up and try new programs. So currently we are doing the 4-week program to go along with the GUT protocol. It's called 4 Weeks for Everybody. It's also created by Autumn Calabrese, who Morgan mentioned earlier, and it's 4 days a week. And then she recommends getting a 5th day of movement, so that can be going on a walk, that could be pressing play on a different video in the member library, it could be stretching, it can be anything. And so right now that's been really awesome because it's my second program postpartum, and with having a 3-month-old, he's like up and ready in the morning before I have to go to work, but I have enough time. If I get up just a little bit before him, I have enough time to press play on a 30-minute workout, get my workout done, get myself ready, lunch is packed, and then I can go get him up and ready to go. And so the workout right now it uses dumbbells, and it uses
the ball,
the exercise ball.
The ball is like a game changer. I feel like with abs, like you have more resistance to go, like when you're doing like a crunch, to go back on the ball. And I've totally been feeling sore from just that tiny little ball, and it's a big game changer.
It is. And what's kind of neat about this program is it's low impact, but that does not mean low intensity. So you still get your heart rate up, and you still are walking, and it's going to be effective moves, but you're not pounding on your joints. So if you have joint pain, this is a great program.
Yes, the cardio day, I actually really enjoy it. It feels really good, and it gets your heart up and moving, but you're not doing a whole lot of jumping and things like that. Yeah. And what I really love is, like, Megan and I played soccer in high school, and we've always been into fitness and movement. But when we were at Iowa State, we would go to the rec center, but I would just randomly be like, well, what am I going to do today? Okay, I'm going to jump on the elliptical, or I'm going to go over and do a few abs, but it wasn't building on each other. And what I really love about this is that since it's a 4-week program, it builds on each other. So you start lifting a little heavier on week 2, the intensity goes up on week 3. Like, I feel like it builds upon each other. And then with each program, we are working different muscles. So like I mentioned, we are using the ball for this one. On another one, we might be using the step. And you don't have to have a ton of equipment. Like I have a smaller workout space.
Yeah.
So once you get the few essentials, then you can do a lot with it. But that's what I really like, is that it uses different muscles, and it challenges you because it builds on each other.
Well, and Morgan, can you share like how you've increased your weights? Because I get that question a lot of, well, it requires dumbbells. Like, what weight should I get? And so if you're looking to start a fitness routine, it's important to kind of know that ahead of time, like being prepared.
Yeah, so when I first started building up my little workout corner, I started with a 10-pound dumbbell and a 15-pound dumbbell set, so 2 of each. And then over time, I felt like especially for squats, I needed something a little heavier, so I got a pair of 20s. I think I asked for them for Christmas one year. And then when I did, there's a program that actually uses like 3-pound dumbbells, 2-pound dumbbells, and because they do a lot of like holding your arms out.
You would be surprised that the 2 pounds is all you need.
Yeah,
for that
so
program.
I added those later. But what I actually need to get now, I want to get a pair of 12s and a pair of 25s. But you slowly build it, and like right now, I'm just okay with having what I can, and I might do, if we're doing a squat, maybe I'll do a few more, because I know I can lift a little heavier, but my weights I only have so heavy, and so you maybe will get a little deeper in your squat.
Well, and I think that's key, Morgan, how you said you asked for Christmas. So that's what I've been doing too, is if I need a new set, I wait until like my birthday or Christmas and ask for that as a gift, because dumbbells can be kind of pricey.
Yeah.
But if you slowly add as you increase your strength, then that should be totally fine to do it that way.
So a typical day would look like, and we can kind of go back and forth on this, but for me, I set my alarm for like 4:45 in the morning. I usually snooze it a couple of times, end up waking up around 5:15. I head upstairs and I make lunches for Tyler and I get Dean's milk or water and apple juice ready, and brew the coffee, mix up my Energize, and then right now we are living with my in-laws, so I am lucky right now to have a workout space out in my father-in-law's shop, so I head out to the shop and I work out for 30 minutes, and then I come back in, and it's really important for me to have time to write in my devotional, to get centered and focused for the day, spend time with God, talk about good things that are happening and prayer requests that I might have on my heart that day. And then I jump in the shower real fast, and then at that point, Dean's usually starting to wake up. So that is kind of a typical morning for me. What does a typical day look like for you?
So very similar. That's exactly pretty much my routine too. So Morgan and I have kind of crafted our routine. It wasn't always like this.
No.
There was a lot of times in the beginning when we started being morning exercisers that I would snooze my alarm too much and not get it done and have to do it after work. So we have crafted our routine a little bit more, and I actually think crafting it, like if you already have kids, it's not too late to craft a routine. But I started this routine before I had Andrew, and so I think a lot of like family and friends were thinking like, well, is she going to continue to be able to do this after she has a baby? Like right now it's all fine and dandy, great, it's just her and Kyle, but is she going to still be able to do it once she has a baby? And since I created those habits from the get-go, even on maternity leave, I started doing, after I was healed, and like not maybe fully healed, but I got the okay from my doctor that I could start doing movement. I started that on my maternity leave to get some exercise in, just to create that back into my day and that rhythm. But for breakfast, I have been really enjoying some oats. And so this morning I had a pumpkin pie, like baked oats. It was in the microwave. You could bake it in the oven, but I actually just did the microwave. And it had pumpkin puree, it had pure maple syrup, some pumpkin pie spice, it had oat milk, oats, and I'm trying to think if there was anything else in there. Some baking powder.
That sounds really good.
It was so good. And you could add other things in it too. You could add walnuts, you could add peanuts, you could add some chia seeds, some flax seeds. You could add other things to it too.
I think that would be perfect, like with the banana sliced on top.
Oh, that would be yummy. I didn't have any bananas this morning, but I just went to the grocery store, so I might have to try that this week.
Yeah, that sounds really good. And what I try to do every morning too is take a shake to go. It's a protein shake, but it's not just your average protein. It's got so many nutrients and vitamins and daily essential things for your body in it, and that really gives me a good start for the day. So I usually, lately I've been enjoying like oats in the morning. If I have a time in my morning routine to be able to make some oats, so I might take some oats with me and eat them at my desk at work. But I drink my shake on my way to the office, and it actually keeps me really full until lunchtime. So
Yeah.
I'm not snacking in the morning, and I usually, like Megan said, will throw in some frozen cauliflower or some zucchini, maybe some spinach to give me a vegetable right first thing in the morning. And then I like to mix up adding in fruit, bananas, berries, and then I'll try to mix up even some of the liquid. I'll put water, dairy milk, oat milk, almond milk, things like that, just to add that diversity.
And if I do have time in the morning, so if there's a no school day, like if we have a day off or if it's summertime in the weekend, like on the weekends, I do love to do skillets or like egg bakes. And so having eggs, because then you can add a ton of vegetables in it. You can do peppers and onions, you could do jalapenos, tomatoes. There's so many like vegetables that you could throw spinach, throw into with eggs or with like those country potatoes. And you could do a variety of sausages. You could do pork sausage, turkey sausage. There's just a lot you can do with that. Or even regular bacon, turkey bacon. Ham's really good in it. So I like doing that when I have a little bit more time. But yeah, before work on the go, it's usually what can I do that's convenient and quick, but still gives me food that keeps me satisfied and like content and full until I can eat again. Yeah. And we are 5-meal people. Like we have breakfast, snacks, lunch, maybe another snack, and dinner. And the snacks, though, of course, are vegetables and fruit. Maybe a little bit of nuts, trail mix, like string cheese, some like cut up meat, different things like that. Yogurt.
And one thing I wanted to mention too, Megan, when you were talking about we've kind of perfected our morning routine, I actually remember when I first graduated from college and got my first job out of college, I remember talking to you about how I felt so frantic in the morning. I was always like rushing out the door. I just felt like my morning was always like chaotic, and it was just me and Tyler. And I feel like since we've started to prioritize our morning routine, and I know getting up like at 4:45
sounds daunting.
It sounds daunting, but having that time to myself to like focus on movement and making healthy lunches and having some time in journaling and prayer, I feel like I really have been noticing lately that it helps me start my day calm.
And it helps to keep that positive mindset, especially with the prayer and the devotional. And then we know that endorphins are so good for us, just to get that endorphin rush. It gives you that natural boost of energy. I mean, this is going to give you energy, but it's also the workout itself. It's going to, you would think it would give you, like it would make you tired because you just exerted yourself. It's actually the opposite. It's like you get this endorphin rush. It's like just this natural high of like all these things going through your body, and you're like, I feel great and ready to start the day.
Yeah, definitely.
So what do you like to take for lunches?
So I usually meal prep on Sunday, and I'll try to meal prep at least 3 days, because I usually by Thursday and Friday I'm kind of tired of my meal prep that I had prepared.
And you might have leftovers.
Yeah, so, but I like to mix it up. Sometimes I take cold lunches, like I might, lately, our friend Adrienne, she had made bell pepper sandwiches with like lunch meat and stuff. So trying to change it up, something like that might be like a cold lunch, or I sometimes like to do like snack boxes with like a hard-boiled egg, some cheese cubes, some broccoli and cauliflower, carrots, grapes, kind of like create like your own little snack box. But this week I meal prep the pizza that I mentioned, so sometimes I like to do warm meals, or I like to do a lot of bowls. So I'll do like rice with sauteed vegetables and shrimp, or I'll do like a taco bowl. So I like to do a lot of bowls because you can get a good hearty meal, but that's really pretty healthy.
Yeah, and rice you can do a variety too. Like, it's not like we boycott white rice. We love white rice and brown rice. Like what is that, long grain rice?
I like
jasmine rice. And we even do quinoa sometimes in those bowls. But then, like Morgan said, meal prepping on Sunday is going to set you up for success. So then in the mornings, if there is a day you're running late, it's already prepped. You just grab it out of the refrigerator, put it in your lunchbox, and you don't have any excuses of, I didn't have time to make a lunch today, I'm just going to go run to town and grab something.
Yeah.
For one, I can't run to town and grab something because as a teacher, I get a 20-minute lunch, and I have to take the kids to lunch, eat my lunch quick, and then pack my lunchbox up and go grab the kids. So I can't go get something in the middle of the day, so it's nice to have that healthy lunch. And
I do have the flexibility to grab lunch throughout the day, and I am guilty of lately I'll like make a quick stop like once or twice a week, either to get like a healthier decaf coffee or a matcha tea, or I've been really enjoying like bubble tea, which we can talk about like cravings. This sugar detox has been really good for those type of things, and not caving into that. But when I when I do go out, I really am intentional about, okay, I can still treat myself and have something without feeling deprived, but I can choose a healthier option. Like, it's not like Friday night date night with Tyler, like where we're gonna have an appetizer or something. Like, if it's during the week, I'm fueling my body, and it's not like a special occasion.
Yeah, I feel like you're really good about picking healthier options, like going to a smoothie place and getting a healthy smoothie, or getting like a protein bowl or a wrap or something.
Yeah.
And then for dinners, we both kind of like to make, not all the time, but we like to make homemade meals fresh and having it be like all those ingredients from our cupboards, like spices and herbs and all of the vegetables. And so we like to take recipes from a member library and from the meal plans and do those, and not really prep them on Sunday because we want them fresh, and so we do them in the evenings.
But I think just writing it down and going and getting groceries with the meals in mind really helps, not only to not waste food, but also to, like, okay, these are the options I have for this week, and this is what I plan. So I know I have a veggie side, or I know I have a healthy carb, I know I have a protein. So just being prepared is half of the battle.
Having that plan of, this is what I'm having this week. And then you don't waste the groceries either, because sometimes when you go to the store, if you don't have a plan, you just buy random things, and then you get home and you're like, well, this doesn't really make a meal. And so having those meals written out helps. Okay, on Monday night I want to have this, Tuesday night I want to have this, but then making it fresh that evening, so then it's a nice warm meal for you.
Yeah. Okay, so let's wrap up. So we're getting close to our time here with you guys, and so we just wanted to wrap up with like a tip and a trick, and then with a quote. So my tip for you is to do habit stacking. So we mentioned a lot today that we have kind of incorporated into our routines, but it hasn't happened overnight. This has been a like 5-year journey from like when we graduated college to now, of like slowly incorporating things into our routine and our day. And lately I've been really struggling. Every time I go to the dentist, they tell me I need to floss my teeth more. So I know that's something I need to do and something I struggle with. And so when I have been hopping into the shower, I've been bringing floss with me. So I'm habit stacking. So habit stacking is when you already know that you're doing something and you're going to add something healthy to it to benefit you. But by putting them together, you'll remember to do it. So I've been bringing floss into the shower with me, flossing my teeth real quick, and then that way it's done. And I habit stacked. I don't have to remember to do it later. And one thing that you could really like just start with is habit stacking in the morning. When you wake up, when you're brewing your coffee, drink a glass of water. So I've also been trying to do that because I know the benefit of like drinking this much water before you even take a sip of coffee. Like let's not put something like caffeine into our body when we've been sleeping for 8 hours and haven't had any water. Like, coffee dehydrates you, so let's start with something that's going to hydrate you first. So I've been doing that. When I brew my coffee and I'm making lunches, I mix up my Energize, but before that I just have been downing a glass of water.
Yeah, I think that's a great tip and definitely a suggestion to try if you haven't tried habit stacking. And Morgan and I have learned a lot of this from listening to experts, nutrition experts in fitness, and our accountability group, what's worked for the ladies in there and what's maybe something we want to try. So just try these different tips and suggestions and see what works for you. And we'd love to know kind of where you're at and what you like to do for your health and fitness and nutrition. But my tip for today is don't expect perfection or you will give up every single time, because nobody is perfect. No routine is perfect. Fitness, nutrition, nothing is perfect when it comes to life. And so don't expect perfection and don't expect it to go 100% the way you want it to all the time. Focus instead on consistency and just showing up. Even if you can't get through the whole 30-minute workout, if you can do 20 minutes, that's still showing up. It wasn't perfect, but you still showed up and it was better than yesterday. If you despise vegetables, try adding a little bit to a protein shake and hiding it, and it's better than what you did yesterday. So like trying to kind of progress every single day, one step further, taking baby steps, but realizing it doesn't have to be perfect. If you take a step back, it's okay. Get back on the bandwagon and keep going, because even though I'm doing this no sugar for Lent, I told Morgan the other day that I poured a glass of wine and didn't even remember. I totally forgot, and I was like, crap, I just like put the bottle out in the garage, like it was the end of the bottle. And I was like, should I dump it? And Morgan's like, just drink it. It's Friday night, like it's fine. And that doesn't mean I just like throw the towel out and say like I give up, like I just failed on my Lent goal, I failed on the 4-week gut protocol, I just give up. No, instead I'm like, whatever, I'm gonna enjoy this glass of wine and I'm gonna get back on track tomorrow.
Yep.
And so just showing up and being as consistent as you can in those daily actions, they'll add up and you'll see the results and just see benefits in your overall health and mentally and physically. So we want to end with a quote. The quote is just one that I found on Google, so no like person said this that I know of, but it says, motivation is what gets you started, habit is what keeps you going. And so you start with motivation, but motivation's not going to last, so you got to build that habit to keep going.
Yes, so as we are springing into fitness, you will maybe be excited right off the start because like we said, the energy of the spring and the warming of the season, but then the habits are going to carry you.
Yeah. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and thank you for tuning in. Please share this episode if it helped you. We'd love to know your feedback. What kind of episodes you'd like to see in the future, we'd love to know that too. And we just are appreciating that you guys are here with us.
And you can like and subscribe the podcast as well. When you do that, that is how more people will hear about the podcast. And that will give us an idea of, how it's going and how you guys are enjoying it.
And we have some exciting episodes coming this summer, so come back and tune in.
All right. Cheers, everyone.